Hi everyone, I'm JT Pilot, and today we will be making another video. This time I'll be going over the Ng Models 2023 Boeing 737 Max Mold Wishlist video. And yes, so this is the first wishlist video of the year of 2023. So, once again, welcome everybody to the year 2023. And today we'll be going over the Ng Models 737 Max Mold wishlist. So Ng Models have announced their Max Mold only a few weeks ago, and they've already released their first Max release and already had pictures for it, which is the Southwest Desert Gold Max 8, which looks flat out amazing. The pictures for that model did come out today. It looks great. Cannot wait to get that model. But today we'll be doing a wish list for all the other Max 8s and Max 9s and Max 10s and Max 7s that NG could release. So that's what we'll be doing in today's video. So I'd like to welcome everybody to this video. And so this is how my mold wish list work. I go over each of my I go over each of my models on this wish list, then I give them a desirability meter, just ranking them how desirable they are, and how NG should prioritize which models they release first. So that's kind of why I have it there. So they just don't decide to release some Max 8 we really don't need first. So you never know. But yeah, so a lot of these models on this wish list video are some requests from the MAF forum and some requests from my Instagram account. So I did include some of your requests in here. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this video. There's lots of good models in here. So nonetheless, let me start with the very first model in this video. Drum roll please, which is the American Boeing 737 Max 8. So yes, I did use some of your guys' photos as well. Per request of some of these great Instagram aviation photographers. And we got our first photo from Texoma Aviation. Thank you so much for letting me use this photo and some other photos. Yeah, the beautiful American 737 Max 8. So Gemini's done a few releases of this. This is a pretty good requested model. Desirability meter is only a high 3 for this one. Just because Gemini's already done 2 releases of it. Their versions aren't really too good, but I'd love to replace my Gemini 2021 release with this version. It would just be flat out amazing. One down if Ng Models releases this model soon, I'd definitely buy it. My Gemini version is missing an antenna, and the Ng mold is just overall way better than the Gemini JC mold. It beats that mold by a long shot. So first model here. Moving on to our next model. This is the Air Canada Boeing 737 Max 8. So the desirability meter for this model is a 4. So this is going to be a great Gemini release. Great NG release. Gemini's done one release of this model. I believe Phoenix has done a release of this model as well. I gave this model a 4 just because this model has been. I gave it a 4 because it's just slightly more desirable from Canadian collectors. I've seen this request thrown around a lot, so that's why I gave it a slightly higher desirability meter score. So this is going to be a great release. I'd probably replace my Gemini version with this model as well. It's kind of the same story about a few models on this list. Alright, moving on to your next one. This is the Alaska Boeing 737 Max 9. So yeah, this is going to be another great NG Models release. So Gemini's done Alaska Max 9 back in 2019. That model started to become rare, and it'd be great for NG Models to do re-release of it. It's just the mold would be far superior, and a lot of collectors have missed out on it, including myself. It'd be a great model to get. It would be a great model to get. So desirability from here for this model is at 4. That's all I gotta really say about it. So it's gonna be great release. Alaska, it has several more of these on order. They do have the Max 8 on order as well. So once Alaska gets the Max 8, NG could release that as well. So yes, these are gonna be great models. So that's all I gotta really say. So yes, Alaska's taking delivery of more of these. They'll be flying around to more destinations throughout North America soon. So yeah. Moving on to our next model, this is the Alaska Boeing 737 Max 9, the gift of travel delivery. This is some sort of special delivery that several of you have requested that no manufacturer's released yet. So there you go. NG Models could also do the I believe they could do the West Coast Wonders delivery, and I believe there's some sort of sport delivery they could do. I can't think of the top of my head. They could do those 2 deliveries as well. I didn't put this on the list just because they've already been made before, and yeah. So this delivery may get repainted as well. So if NG can release this model soon, it'd be a great release. This over requested this model, so that's why I put this model on the list. But not my highest request by any means. So yeah, there you go. Moving on to our next model, this is the Allegiant Boeing 737 Max 8 200. You can also find the Allegiant Max 7 as well. So NG only has the Max 8 200 mold, and Max 9 mold currently. The Max 8 200 is basically the exact same as the normal Max 8. So just an extra escape door. So yeah, NG's going to definitely release them. So yeah. So Allegiant Maxes, they've not been released yet, and I'm willing to bet this won't be released for a while until one is unveiled, and I would love for NG Models to release an Allegiant Max 8. I'm sure they'll do before Gemini. It'd just be great. NG hasn't released any Allegiant Models yet, surprisingly enough, so yeah. I'm surprised they haven't done like Allegiant 757. So These are going to be great models once NG announces them. I definitely get a few of these because Allegiant are replacing their A320 family aircraft with the 747 MAX. Some of them, that is. They're still going to get some more. I believe they should get some more used A320s soon. I do believe, or they may have already taken delivery of them. But some Allegiant Maxes will be a great release from NG models. I definitely buy them. They're going to be great models. Alright, moving on to your next model. This is the Baltic Air, but in some cylinder Max 8. So this will be a great NG release here. And yeah, so a great Indonesian release there. So that's all I really got to say about it. And yeah, I believe Phoenix has done this model before, maybe JC Wing. So that's another requested model. Moving on to your next model, this is the Bonza, but in some cylinder Max 8 200. I get this one as I really meet your 5. This is really the first one on this list that NG really needs to make. This is a new Australian airline, and lots of Australian collectors have been demanding NG models release this. This is going to be a great model, really beautiful livery. I love the purple, the purple colors on the livery. It's going to be a beautiful model. So desirability for this model is a 5. It's going to be a great NG release there. All right, moving on to our next model, we got the B plane. Yeah, the B movie plane. I'm just joking here. We got the Buzz, but in some cylinder Max 8 200. So yes, yeah, I wanted to just be like Jazz. I'm just joking. That's an interesting joke. Anyways, so this is a low-cost airline that's owned by Ryanair. Phoenix did release this model. It didn't really turn out too well, and a lot of European collectors are requesting NG models to release this aircraft. This is a pretty cool model. I may actually go for it because it's such a unique and obscure aircraft, and obscure livery especially. So this would be a great NG release. I'd probably go for it, so there you go. Moving on to your next one. This is the Caribbean, but in some cylinder Max 8. Gemini has just released this model recently in Air Classics. I just put this model on this list just because a NG release would just be better. I'd definitely go for it. And yeah, that's all I got to say about it. Not the highest, not the most desirable model on this list in my opinion, but I just wanted to include it because it's a really unique aircraft. Moving on to your next aircraft, this is the Copa, but in some cylinder Max 9. You can also find the Copa Max 8 as well because they'll soon be receiving those as well. So Gemini's done this model before, but it had a special sticker on it, so I don't believe any manufacturer has done this a regular livery, maybe Air Classics, but yeah, this is going to be a great model, and yeah, once released, I'd definitely go for it. I did sell my Gemini version, so yeah. Desirability for this model is just a free. And yeah, so NG does have a Max 9 model. There's not really a lot of, not really models they could make for now with the Max 9 model. There's some, but yeah. So I'm intrigued to see what their first Max 9 release will be, and I'll show you that my prediction later on in this video. Moving on to some more models, we got the Icelandair, but in some cylinder Max 8. So yeah, so Icelandair has recently unveiled their Max series of aircraft in their new livery. They all look great, in my opinion. The livery has grown on me. I didn't really like it at first, but it's just grown on me. So they have this. They could do a yellow. So each Icelandair Max 8 has a different tail. So they have the yellow tail, the blue tail, the light blue tail, and I believe like a greenish tail. I went with the yellow tail as my request, just because that's my favorite tail in my opinion. It looks great on the Max 8. So yes, I believe they have a purple tail as well. So, yes, this is going to be a great release. Gemini has already done the release of this recently, so maybe in the future. NG Models was releasing Icelandair aircraft, so I went down that these come out first. So, going to be great models, but I'd definitely replace my Gemini version. Same story there. Moving on to our next model. This is the Icelandair, but it's the first cylinder Max 9 in a new livery, so this has been recently unveiled as well. So, yeah, desirability for this model is just a free, because Gemini's, I mean, has any manufacturer done a Max 9 release? I might put this model a little higher up on the desirability meter, but I give it like a 4 or 5. Just because no manufacturers yet to release a new livery Icelandair Max 9. I don't believe any manufacturer has done the older livery Max 9 release before. I may be wrong, but this is going to be a great release, though. I'd definitely go for it as well. Really love the Icelandair livery on the Max 9 as well, so really great release here. And I assume Icelandair will begin some more Maxes in the future to replace some of their 757s. This is my guess, though. So, yeah, it's going to be a great release there. Moving on to our next model. This is the Fiji Airways, but it's a pretty similar to Max 8. So, yeah, desirability meter for this model is a 4. A lot of Australian collectors and Oceanic collectors have been requesting this model to be made. So there you go. It's going to be a beautiful release here. So NG has recently done the Fiji A350. So some percentage Max 8 release isn't out the realms of possibility. So, going to be a great release there. Moving on to our next one, we got the Flair, but in some reason the Max 8. This model put on desirability meter an absolute 5. It may go down a little bit if Gemini decides to release it, but I would prefer an NG version by a long shot. It's going to be a great model. And yeah, so this model has been made once before by Threshold Aviation as a Threshold Aviation exclusive on the Air Classics Max model, which that model is okay. And I'm really just waiting for an NG release. This model is going to be far superior. Cannot wait to get this model. So desirability meter is a 5. Flair does send these aircraft to the United States, Canada, and then to those regions there. So, yeah. It would be really great release. I know a lot of collectors would appreciate this NG release. And NG has done the Flair Sunfree so much injured before, so Max 8 isn't out of the realms of possibility. Moving on to our next one, we got the FlyDubai, but in Sunfree so much Max 8, so a lot of Middle Eastern collectors have been requesting NG Models release this aircraft. Gemini's done one release of it before, but an NG release would just be simply better because their max model is way superior. So yeah, Zyber Mir will just get a 4 for this model. Just because Gemini's already released this model before, basically. Moving on to your next aircraft. This is a Flyr, but in some frequency Max 8. This is that new Norwegian airline. So really beautiful livery here. I believe JC may have released this model once before, so that's why I have it a little bit lower. But a lot of European collectors have been debating this model. This is going to be a great NG release, so the desirability meter for this model is a 4. Moving on to your next aircraft, we got the Gold, but in some frequency Max 8. This is a regular livery version. NG has done the Gold some frequency Angels recently. They have done a few of them recently, so I would not doubt they'll do a Max 8 release. I'd definitely go for this model because Gold sends these aircraft to Florida, so really unique max routes there. Some of the longest max routes in the world, so I'd definitely go for this model. And yeah, so desirability meter for this model is a 4. This one I also get, which is the Gold, but in some frequency Max 8 in the Harry Potter livery. What a beautiful aircraft here. Really love this livery. And yeah, I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan in the world, but still, this is a really great livery here. So I'd definitely go for this. I just love this livery. It's a really unique livery, and I'd definitely go for this one once again. Yeah, one of the few international aircraft special liveries I would buy, and this is definitely one. This is one of them. So this is one I would definitely buy. So yes, I don't believe any manufacturers released this aircraft yet, so NG can get around licensing and probably release this model. So yeah, desirability meter for this model is a 4. Moving on to our next aircraft, we get a lot Polish, but in some reason there's Max 8. So another good European aircraft that NG models could release. A lot of European collectors have demanding NG models for some more European aircraft. This would suit the cause there. So yeah, great model here. That model's been requested by several European collectors as well. And yeah, so there's kind of a theme with this video. A lot of European models that have been requested. A lot of them haven't really been made too much before in 1.4, so that's a kind of common theme. Yeah, and the Flyr Max 8 would be pretty good release, and probably NG would release it before JC Wings release, because JC is just slow to everything, basically. So, I'm just being really honest. Moving on to our next aircraft. Here we have the Lynx Air, but in some reason there's Max 8. This model really needs to get released by NG models. No, this model's never been made 100 or 100 before, so yeah, new Canadian airline. I'd definitely go for this model. It's gonna be a great airline. They'll be flying these Max 8s to America as well. I mean, United States sometime in the future. So it's going to be a great release. And yeah, that's all I got to say about that model. Moving on to our next aircraft, we got the Malta Air, but in separation under Max 8-200. So this is another one of Ryanair's subsidiary airlines. So this is a Maltese airline. This aircraft hasn't really been made much in 1.4, so it'd be a great model for NG's release, and a lot of European collectors would appreciate it. So desirability meter for this one is a 5. Moving on to our next aircraft, we get the Norwegian, but in separation under Max 8, and this is a Norwegian Sweden example right here. This is going to be a great NG release. I put this model slightly lower just because Gemini, JC, and Air Classics have already done a Norwegian separation under Max 8. This model would be far superior, but I just wanted to mention that. So another great European release. I'm interested to see if Norwegian will ever resume their long-haul operations. So yeah. Moving on to our next aircraft, we have the Ryanair, but in separation under Max 8-200. So this is going to be a great release here. So I believe Phoenix have released this model a few times, but other than that, this model really hasn't been released too much. So a lot of European collectors will enjoy this model, and I'd definitely go for this model. So yeah. All right, moving on to our next aircraft, we got the Singapore Airlines, but in some reason there's Max 8. So yeah, this is a brand new Max 8 brand new livery for a Max 8. Because Singapore recently taken delivery of their Max 8, so really unique aircraft here. Phoenix have released this model once before. I believe JC may have as well. But this will still be a great NG release, and yeah. Alright, moving on to our next Maxes. These are going to be some of my most requested ones. So on the first one, we got a Southwest Bend, so first owner's Max 8 in the Heart livery. Yes. Yeah, so Gemini has released this aircraft, I believe, 3 times before, so an NG release would be far superior. I'd definitely go for it, an NG release. I'd probably replace all my Gemini versions, because they're not really the best, so because one of them is missing antenna, and then 2 of them, the livery really isn't too good on it. So I really want a new Southwest Heart livery Max 8 release. I would not doubt if NG releases these soon. I'd probably go for probably just 2 of them. I'm trying not really collect duplicate models, but a Heart Max 8 is probably one of the few models get a duplicate model of. It'll just be this is gonna be a great model. Yeah, it's gonna be a great model. So I gotta really say, a lot of US collectors have been demanding Ng Models release this aircraft, and Salvos sends these Maxes all sorts of places. They have around 140s in their fleet now, so it's a pretty popular aircraft. I'd definitely go for this model. It'd be a great NG release. So, just everybody media for this model is A4, and I'd like to thank Delta 13 for providing his photo for this aircraft. So, yeah, thank you, man. And yeah. Moving on to our next aircraft, we get the Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 8 in the Canadian Blue livery. So, I would not doubt if anyone will release this model in the next few months, maybe in the February or March that they're going to release this. I'm really making a bold prediction there. They've just released the Desert Gold aircraft, and the Canadian Blue MAX 8 is really the next NG MAX release I do expect. So, yes, because they have been doing all the new Southwest special deliveries in order, because they have done, I believe they did Colorado one first, then they did Tennessee one, the new Colorado one, then the new Tennessee one, and then the new Illinois one, then the new Southwest Desert Gold Max, and the Canadian Blue Max 8's up next. So they're doing them in order as they're painted, so really cool strategy by NG Models. A lot of people are hating the fact that NG Models are releasing a lot of Southwest aircraft. I'm really saying European collectors. But us United States collectors, we really appreciate Southwest releases, and yeah, Southwest has some really cool liveries, so I appreciate Southwest releases. They're not boring Euro-weight releases, so yes, I really do hope for some more European releases this year from NG, and not some just boring Lufthansa 777Fs that really nobody wants. But, you know, it's NG, so they did say we should have some more colorful releases in the next few months, according to one of their posts on the DAC forum, which I noticed. I believe they said starting in March they'll have some colorful releases, so we'll have to see what they are, and I cannot wait to see what kind of NG releases we'll see this year. I'll talk more about that in this video. So everybody, me for this model is absolutely fine. Nobody's actually announced this model or released this model 140 yet, so it's going to be a great release. Moving on to our next aircraft, we got a Sun Express Boeing 737 MAX 8. So none of European aircraft here. I believe this is a Turkish airline. A lot of collectors will appreciate this model. A lot of European collectors would. And this would be another great European release. And I believe this model hasn't really been made much in 1400. So yeah, so this is going to be a great model. Desirability for this model is a 5. Moving on to our next one. This is a Swoop Boeing 737 MAX 8. So yeah, Swoop Airlines, this is a subsidiary of WestJet Airlines, have recently acquired some MAX 8s. And yeah, so this would be a great release. I'd definitely go for this model. I already have these Swoops on Free Search Injured, but I really want a MAX 8 because they send these to some American destinations. So this would be a great release for me. And a lot of Canadian collectors would appreciate this release. So desirability meter for this one is an absolute 5. Never been made 100 before. I believe this may have been made by Darren Skymarks, but it's never been made in a die-cast scale before. So this is going to be a great release, and yeah. Moving on to our next aircraft, we got the Sunwing Boeing 737 MAX 8. So, yes, so same story as the Swoop 737 So, Sunwing had taken delivery of some MAX 8s, I believe, a few years ago, but this aircraft really hasn't been made too much in 1400, so it's going to be a great release here. Great Canadian release. I'd definitely go for this one. A lot of Canadian Maxes that NG could release, so there's a lot they could do. So, desirability meter for this one is a 5. Moving on to our next aircraft, we got a TUI Boeing 737 MAX 8. You can also add the MAX 10 to this wish list as well. So, yeah, so this is going to be really great NG release. A lot of European collectors would appreciate this aircraft. I gave this model desirability meter of just a freak, just because this model's already been made before, I believe, by JC and Phoenix once again. So, yes, but this is still going to be a great release if NG decides to release it. NG has done a TUI aircraft before, so I really want some more TUI releases from NG, especially some 787s, because I'd actually go for them. So, yeah, this is going to be a great model here. Moving on to our next aircraft, we got a Turkish Boeing 737 MAX 8. You can also put the Turkish MAX 9 on this wish list video as well. These aircraft really haven't been made too much in 1400, so yeah, a lot of European collectors have been requesting NG Models release these, so these are going to be great models. That's all I got to really say about it. Yeah, really cool release there. Alright, moving on to our next models. These are some United Boeing 737 MAXs. We're going to be starting with the first one, which is the United Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8, just a normal livery. So, Gemini has done this model before. That really didn't really turn out well. I do have it. It's just okay. It's just okay. Yeah, I got rocket ship engines. I really want NG to do release of it because I would definitely replace the model. So, yeah, this is going to be a great release here. So, yeah, so United has several of these on order. So, yeah, this is going to be a great release here. Definitely going to buy it. Moving on to our next aircraft, we got the United Boeing 737 MAX 8 in the Aviate livery here. So, yeah, this is going to be a great NG release here. So, yeah, it's going to be a great NG release there. Yes, this aircraft is yet to be made 1400, so I'd definitely go for this model. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, definitely go for this model just because it'll be on the NG mold. So, we can go release here. I did not put the I believe the Together livery by I did not put the United together some first finish Max 8 livery on here just because Gemini's already done it recently and it doesn't really need to get released by NG. So, yes, these niche logo livery air. I should say United. I mean, let me rephrase what I was going to say. Sorry about that. These liveries that just have something slightly different, like a logo on them, really don't need to get re-released again by any manufacturer. It's just something so slight. So just want to mention that. Moving on to our next aircraft, we got United, but instead of Dash Max 9. So my prediction is this will be the very first Max 9 release from NG, because this one is really in high demand from US collectors. This United Evo Max 9 has never been made by one for the manufacturer, not even Gemini, which is super surprising. So I'd definitely go for a small, and yeah, it's going to be a great release here. You could also put the Continental Globe Max 9 on this wish list as well. I didn't put that one on here just because Gemini Air Classics have done it before, so I just put the United Airlines with the first finish Max 9 on here. So desirable medium for this model is a 5. Moving on to our next model, this is the Virgin Australia, but it's first finish Max 8. Another Australian model in high demand here. So I believe Virgin Australia will soon be taking delivery of these aircraft, and they're going to be great aircraft. I know a lot of Australian collectors will enjoy this model. So desirability for this model is a 4. Moving on to our next aircraft, we have the WestJet, but so far finished Max 8. This model has really been requested by a lot of collectors. I got a lot of requests for a WestJet Max 8. So yeah, this is going to be a great NG release. I believe Gemini have released this model before. Their version is just okay. I do have it. It's missing antenna, so I don't really like it. So I would definitely get an NG version and replace it. And yeah, so desirability for this model is a 4. And that's it for this wishlist video. So yeah, so we'll be moving on to our last part of this wishlist video, which is the NG Models Future Max Mold Wishlist. So this is any future Maxes that NG could release that they don't have molds yet. Max release they don't have molds yet for like the Max 7 and Max 10, which I wouldn't doubt if NG Models will soon get a Max 7 and Max 10 mold, because they've been pumping out lots of 140 molds recently, and lots of variants of 140 molds like the 77-8 and the A350-1000. So I wouldn't doubt if we see them in the future. Probably they didn't decide to release the Max 7 and Max 10 mold yet. It's just because these aircraft have yet to get certified by the FAA. So there's a little bit of uncertainty around these aircraft. But they have gotten, the Max 7 and Max 10s have gotten that exemption from the FAA. So they should get certified soon. So I should say the Max 7 should get certified soon. The Max 10 will probably take a little bit longer. So, but on here we got on this part of the video, we got the United Boeing Sunwing Max 10. Definitely will get a few of them. Probably get 2 of them. Just because United at last count has over 250 of these on order, so definitely would go for that model. A Delta Max 10 release would be amazing by NG models. I'd definitely get a few of those as well. The WestJet Max 10 and WestJet Max 10 release would be also great by NG models, and WestJet Max 7 release would be great for NG as well. Definitely would go for those. A Southwest Max 7 release would be great as well. I'd definitely get a few of those as well. And these models have yet to be made in 1/4. A Virgin Australia Max 10 would be great for Australian collectors. Any VJet Airbus, some for such Max 8 tuner would be great for a Vietnamese collector, so yeah. And that, folks, does conclude the NG Models 7 Max 8 mold, Max 8, Max 9 mold wishlist video. So, out of the models I would definitely buy, definitely get the WestJet, definitely get the United Max 9, Max 8. I would definitely go for the Southwest Maxes. I would definitely go for the Lynx Air Max 8. Definitely go for the Gold 7 Max 8s. They'll be great releases. And I would definitely go for the Flair 7 Max 8. I'd definitely go for the Icelandair Maxes. Definitely go for the Caribbean. And I'd probably go for the Allegiant, Alaska, and the American Max 8s and the Air Canada. So that is it for this video. So yes, hopefully you guys really enjoyed this Maximum Wishlist video. And yeah, so tell me in the comments below what models you like, which Max models you like NG models released the most. I'm really curious about your thoughts. So yeah, so NG releases this year. I'm excited to see what NG will release this year. Their releases sets have gotten really large. The last batch of models that NG produced had over 30 miles in them, about 38. So yes, 38 miles. That's crazy, right? Yeah, we got all those pictures today. Yeah, there's a lot of miles in there. So NG models will likely be having some more massive releases this year. One that bet you the February, March set, if we even have this, will be smaller. But after that, we're going to probably go back to having these massive sets. Yeah, I'm excited to see what Max's NG will release first. My predictions are they'll probably do the Southwest KLUV Max 8 soon. Probably they'll be in their next one. Probably some United Maxes. Probably some Chinese ones, because why the heck not? I did not put Chinese Maxes on here because they're not really too requested, so that's why I didn't put them on here. But I wouldn't doubt if NG releases them. And some Canadian Maxes hopefully will come soon as well. When doubt, those are produced in the near future. So, yeah, so that's it for this video. So I'm JT Pilot, and I'd like to thank you all so much for watching today, and have a wonderful day, and have a wonderful week.